Breaking news, Nigerians. ASUU warns the Nigerian students and parents that Tinubu's student loan is nothing but a booby trap. ASUU has sent a very strong warning to the Nigerian students and also their parents. Let's find out more as we hit the news. But if you're joining us for the first time, you're very much welcome. I sincerely appreciate your presence. Kindly subscribe and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's recent approval of the Access to the Tertiary Education Act, otherwise known as the Student Loan Act, may turn out to be a booby trap for many young Nigerians aspiring to acquire tertiary education. Stakeholders in the education sector have warned, and they argued that the signing of the bill into law was hasty and lacked proper, deliberations and would run contrary to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that specify that all public institutions in Nigeria are tuition-free. We recall that the Nigerian government has earlier explained that the act is aimed at improving an interest-free loans to Nigerians seeking higher education. And a part of the conditions set out for the act limits beneficiaries to the children or the wards of the parents whose annual income is not more than 500,000 or less than, a million. Another condition also restricts the loan to the payment of tuition fees, which as of now is non-existent across many tertiary institutions owned by the federal government. Also, it said that the loan proposed to take off in September is expected to be repaid 2 years after completion of the National Youth Service. And in reaction to the act, the national president of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Usodike, had described the introduction of the Student Loan Act as an action that could put on hold the aspirations of many young Nigerians that are dependent on public institutions to acquire tertiary education, acknowledging that the union is yet to have the access to the accurate copy of the law signed by President Tinubu. And the ASUU president, in a press interview, said it could be a ploy to introduce tuition that is non-existent in the public federal universities, as the government might come up with another act that will formally introduce tuition fees, saying that the move is not new, as the union had raised strong objection to it when it was introduced by the former president Muhammad Buhari. Guys, Mr. Moyele Sowore had kicked against the introduction of the Nigerian student loan. He kicked against it. He said, this is not going to benefit Nigerians. This is not going to benefit the people. This won't benefit students in any way. Now, ASUU are saying a country where more than 133 million are living below the poverty line, and you want to introduce tuition fees. That would be very bad now. It would be very disastrous. It would be counterproductive. Every Nigerian should know what is going to happen next. And there may likely be another bill waiting for signatures that will introduce tuition fees. And if the bill indicated that the loan is to pay tuition fees, then there is no tuition fees in the Nigerian university. Then what next? What's your next approach? Because speaking on the position of the ASUU on the act, the national treasurer of the ASUU, who spoke during a discussion with newsmen, affirmed the position of the union on the matter, noting that if it is welcomed by Nigerians, then the union should wait for the circumstances, while educating Nigerians on what it considered as tuition paid in public schools. Sowore reiterated that no public university in Nigeria pays tuition fees, as that which students pay are sundry charges such as the medical fees, identification card, hostel accommodation fees, etc., etc. And the umbrella body of the students of the tertiary institutions at home and abroad, the National Association of Nigerian Students, Diaspora, has been in full of commendations to the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for fulfilling his promise to the students. And in reaction, sent to Sunday Independent, it was known that, oh, these students were happy over the policy made by President Tinubu. They said that the leadership of the National Association of the Nigerian Students Diaspora, led by Comrade Abdularam Abubakar, deeply appreciate Mr. President Tinubu for his commitment towards the Nigerian Student Committee. By the signing of the student loan bill, it marks the beginning of a new dawn for the Nigerian students. Abubakar had appealed to the president to extend the loan facility to the Nigerian students in diaspora, saying that they are not living in paradise. Even if they are living out of the country, that doesn't mean that things are rosy for them. His words: Mr. President, the Nigerian students in the diaspora hope that the new educational system would also cover the Nigerian students in the diaspora, because in the real sense, the Nigerian students in diaspora are not living in paradise. So you see, my country people, even those living outside the country, the Nigerian students out of the country, they are even pleading that Tinubu should make the loan accessible to them also. So my country people, the ASUU have made it known that this policy introduced by President Tinubu will not work, because it will bring about hike in tuition fees, increment in tuition fees, and at the end of the day, how do these students get to pay back this loan, even when we are still struggling with the removal of the petroleum subsidy? We are still struggling with the cost of living on a daily basis, with the increasing cost of living on a daily basis. We are still struggling with the hike in food prices, struggling with hike in accommodation, high transportation, vehicle maintenance, and all and all. So this loan act that is being initiated by President Tinubu will not work in this country. That is what they are trying to say. And they said this is a booby trap by President Tinubu to the Nigerian students. So guys, what are your thoughts concerning this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.